Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And normally on Thursday we've been doing our altered media project where we talk about all of the things we didn't get to see, the franchises, the movies, alternate versions of the ones we did get. But today is the last Thursday before Easter, and I thought it would be fun to take a look at something you don't think about for Easter: science fiction. So here are 5 sci-fi movies you could watch this Easter. Let's jump right into it. So, if you're like me, you like that non-traditional holiday type of movie, and Easter doesn't have a whole lot of options anyway. As far as Easter goes, there are only a few, and there are more horror ones coming out every single year. But I thought we would take a look at these science fiction ones and see if there are any sci-fi ones out there that might be worth checking out. So here's our list. Coming in at number 1 is Critters 2: The Main Course. Yes, this is actually kind of a sci-fi horror film, but it's that sci-fi element we're talking about. And it is a comedy where leftover alien eggs hatch in the town of Grover's Bend and are mistaken for Easter eggs, unleashing the carnivore aliens on the town and forcing bounty hunters from outer space and the survivors from the first film to stop them. Now, this film is directed by Mick Garris, and it stars Scott Grimes, Don Keith Opper, and Terrence Mann. And this movie is a lot of fun. It was made in 1988. It's sort of comical, it's sort of lighthearted, it brings a certain element of camp to itself, and if you're a fan of the Critters franchise, no doubt you've already seen this. And if you're not, watch Critters 1 for fun, and then turn around and watch this one for your Easter movie marathon, and have yourself a blast because this movie is cheesy, good 80s fun. Next up on our list is Assassin 33 AD, otherwise known as Black Easter, from 2020. It is a sci-fi action film about a group of scientists who create a time machine only for it to be taken over by extremists who want to go back and kill Jesus and his disciples to prevent Christianity from forming. And this film is a lot better than I thought it would be. I thought that this movie was going to be something really horrible, and it turned out to be kind of this excellent little film that doesn't rely on preaching to you, but it does give sort of this nice sort of feel to the whole sci-fi Christianity. So if that's your thing for Easter, you might want to check this one out. It isn't your traditional Easter movie by any means, and there's a lot of violence in this movie. The director is Jim Carroll, and it's said to be a sci-fi action faith movie that stars Morgan Roberts, Elsa Levine, Donnie Boyez, and Heidi Montag. Yeah, that Heidi Montag. So it is kind of this really weird movie. You could do a lot worse than to include this in your science fiction Easter marathon, or at least your Easter marathon overall. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily lean into preaching so much, and there is a lot of violence here to be seen in this movie. So, it isn't very traditional. Next up is Spacemen, Go-Go Girls, and the Great Easter Hunt. That's right, that's the name of this movie. And it's insane. The movie is this comedic science fiction movie that sort of plays like an Ed Wood movie. Russ Meyer and other B movies of the 1950s and 60s. Aliens from Uranus have come to Earth to steal its precious resources, and it's up to some go-go dancing private eyes to stop them. Now, this movie is from 2005, and it is directed by Brett Kelly. written by Brett Kelly and Jodie Pittman, and surprise, Brett Kelly stars in the movie as well. It is sort of this strange little film, and you could do a lot worse than to watch this one. It is absolutely crazy if you can find it. Coming in next is Night of the Lepus, and that is about these giant mutant flesh-eating rabbits terrorizing an Arizona town after scientists try to control the rabbit overpopulation problem, and this leads to all sorts of hijinks. Now, the cast of this movie is Janet Leigh, Stuart Whitman, and DeForest Kelly. And it's a 1972 movie. You could do a lot worse than this movie. And last on this list is one that's not necessarily an Easter movie. This is perhaps the scariest one for me on the list. It is one that hits pretty hard in terms of bringing in that fear and bringing in everything else. And that is The Rapture from 1991. It is a thriller mystery starring Mimi Rogers as a telephone operator who escapes her everyday life by trolling bars with her boyfriend. However, she suddenly wants to become a born-again Christian and joins this sect that believes that the judgment day is near. And this is not a traditional Easter movie, but I included it here because it is a pretty horrifying movie. And it is directed by Michael Tolkien. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced his name, but you could do worse than to check this movie out this Easter as well. Especially if you are looking for that dramatically different type of scenario. Those are 5 movies that I found that I think kind of fit the bill of that sci-fi type of Easter. And the last one is sort of the one that borders on not quite being sci-fi, but there's still enough elements in it to give it a lot of neat special effects and all sorts of things that make you think. That's why I included it on this list. And make sure to let me know if there are any you can think of that I didn't put on this list that are sci-fi Easter movies. And if I haven't seen them, I'll check them out. But I definitely want to hear from each and every single one of you. I want to have a conversation with you about all of these things. Make sure that you share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of this crazy conversation we're having as well. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful Easter Sunday. I will see you on Saturday and on Sunday with another video, but they won't be Easter videos. So with that being said, if you like positive content, talking about the fandoms you love, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. And if you like our channel personally, you know what you need to do. Then you need to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a single video we do. Because we have a lot more to talk about, friends. A lot of fandoms, a lot of things, and all in a positive way. Because you know it and I know it. At the end of the day, fandom is family.